everybody, and welcome to this VIP takeover. I am Corinne Blackstone, and welcome to my craft room. I'm so excited for this takeover today. We are going to do a really fun commemorative pillow for back to school. So I am going to show you guys how to use sublimation with one of the 143 vinyl sublimatable pillowcases, and we're going to make this really cute back to school pillow. We're going to piece together some sublimation to make this. It's really fun and really easy. I'm using StarCraft Sublimation ink, StarCraft paper, and this blank from 143. Don't forget that you can use code Corinne to save 5% on anything on the 143 vinyl website. Let's get started. I can't wait to show you how easy this is to do. We're going to use Canva, and don't be intimidated. Canva's really easy, and you can do most of this with a free account.
Whatever we would do, we do it just for fun.
We're going to use Canva to make this really fun back to school pillow, and we are going to use StarCraft Sublimation ink and the StarCraft Sublimation paper. So what you're going to do, and then you can do this with a free account, so you don't have to pay for anything, which is really fun. But what you can do is go to Canva and click custom size, which is right here in this right corner. And then you're going to choose the 8.5 by 11 size, or if you don't have that already, just go up to here, change this to inches, and then you can input your width and your height. I already have mine, so I will just use that. Now, this is where you can really get creative, play around with things, figure out what you like. But one of my favorite things that they have are called elements, and they have frames, which are really fun. Now, everything I have is in my recently used, because I did pre-design this just so I can make sure I liked it. But what you can do is go in and look up frames, and they have all sorts of different style frames that you can choose from. So again, you can really choose what works for you and what kind of style you like. I really liked this frame with their pictures. I think it looked really, really cute. But there are tons and tons and tons of different styles. So like I said, play around, see what you like. And actually I think I like that longer one now that I'm looking at it. So I'm going to go ahead and make this way bigger, because I'm going to have this take up most of the page, just because I feel like by taking up more of the page, we're going to get a lot more picture, which we definitely want. We want to show off the kids best we can. But again, you can see there's like this one that's maybe a little bit more square. So you can really choose whatever frame you want, whatever works for the design that you're going for. Now, I did already upload these photos, but you can just drag and drop them. I do have permission from the parents to use my friends' kids for these. I just thought they were just adorable, and I really wanted to be able to give this to somebody that they could actually enjoy it. Now, I want her to be a little bit bigger, and I want to cut off a little bit of this bottom of her dress. That way she's a little bit larger in our photo. So I'm just going to go to crop. And all I'm going to do is just pull her out. I'm going to make her nice and big so you can really see that big happy smile on her first day of school. And then I'm going to go ahead and click done. That's super cute. I think she looks great. I don't think we need to make any real adjustments to this. The color on the photo is really nice. It looks really true, so I think that looks good. All I'm going to do is actually just duplicate my page by clicking that little 2 squares up here. And I'm going to drag her brother into the next frame. Again, I'm going to go ahead and make him a little bit bigger so that he takes up more of the frame. I'm just going to use the crop function again, and I just want to make sure that I can really read his sign and see his big happy face starting school. I'm so excited for them, and I hope they all have a fantastic first year back here. So we've got him all nice and sized, and you can just click and see if you like it. I think that looks good. So now that we have the kids right on here, I'm going to go ahead and add another page. You can just click add page if you don't want to duplicate what you already have. So there's some really cute elements in here you can look up for school and first day, all sorts of things. But what I'm going to do is go back into the ones that I previously used, because I found some that I liked, and I loved this 2020 one. Now this one is not for free, but you can definitely find some really cute stuff for free. Anything that has a little crown next to it and says pro is not free, but there's a lot that you can do if you have them for free. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this so that it's the long way. That way I can print it nice and big. Because I have a printer that only does 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 by 14, which I don't have big enough paper for, I'm going to go ahead and just do it this direction. I really want that 2021 to stand out because they're starting school and it's super exciting. So we're going to definitely do that. Now, you can go in and find text And they have preset text ones, and I'm going to use this free happy birthday one. Now, I did totally forget to add a page, so I'm just going to add a page. You can grab this, click copy, and then click paste on this page, and it should pop it over to this page. And then you can just delete it over here if you accidentally forget to move it. Totally fine. I do it all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and move this. Now, I know it says happy birthday, but again, we're going to go ahead and turn it. And I'm going to change this to say first day of, and then this bottom word will be school. So I just like the look of that. I think it's going to look cute with those kind of distressed photos. So again, I'm just going to make this really, really big. Our pillow's like 17 by 17, so we have a lot of space that we can work with. So we're going to try to take up quite a bit of that space for mom and dad so they can really have a nice keepsake. So we're going to go ahead and that out. I think that looks really good. Now, I want to use this font to do the kids' names in because I'd really like to have their names on the pillow as well. And if I decide not to do it, we can always just take it off. So it's just a matter of like what you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and click the plus button, and I'm going to delete the word school off of here, and then I'm just going to change this to say London, and we'll just do Vinny right below it. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this so this is currently the correct way. And then I think I'd like to add the and symbol. We might use it, we might not. It's no harm, no foul if we print it out and end up not using it. And I'll be cutting these apart a little bit so that we can kind of space them and figure out where we want to put them on our page. So I think that looks good. So let's just double check. We got everything we want to put on here. Definitely want to put the year. I've got both kids. I've got the first day of school heading, their names. I think we're looking really good. So what I'm going to do now is click download, and I want to use the download PDF print. Again, you can do this with the free version. Just click download, and it's going to go ahead and do a little thing and ask you where you want to download this. I'm going to call this first day pillow, and good to go. Go ahead and open that PDF. And I'm just going to double check all of my pages here just to make sure that everything downloaded, everything looks good. I think we're good. Double check spelling, things like that, but I think we're good to go. So from here, we are going to send this to our printer. All you simply have to do is click the print icon, and you want to make sure that you do have your correct printer selected. I am using my ST4000, which has my StarCraft printer paper, my Sublimation paper, and my Sublimation ink, and I want to make sure I change this back to color. Next thing I'm going to do is click More Settings, and this is all fine. You can just leave this as is, but what I want to do is open my system dialog. This is going to give us a lot more preferences and make sure that we get a really quality print from our printer. So what I'm going to do is click the word Preferences, and I'm going to change my quality to high. And then over here in More Options, turn off your high speed and turn on mirror image. It's very important that you mirror a sublimation image when you print them, because otherwise your words will be backwards. Again, this is really only important if you have words or something that you need to space a certain way, but definitely you want to mirror the image. Click OK and then click print, and we'll send it to the printer, and then I'll show you guys how to put this on your pillow. I've got my pillow, and this is a Sublimation pillow from 143 Vinyl, which you can save 5% using code CORINNE on the website. But what I want to do first is make sure that I have the zipper here, and I locate that because I want my zipper to be on the bottom of my pillow. So it's important to note where that is. The next thing that I want to do is take some butcher paper and put it inside my pillow. So I've cut some pre-cut sizes for the pillow, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and open this up. And I want to make sure that I put a piece of butcher paper inside. This is a super important thing to do. If you don't do this, you run the risk of your ink bleeding through the other side of your pillow. Now I will say it is a little tough to get this in here because the zipper doesn't go all the way across the pillow, but that's okay. You just kind of shove it in there just like you would a pillow, and you just sort of make it fit. I cut mine, again, just to sort of generally size them. They may not be exact, and that's okay. But I want to just make sure that the inside of my pillow is really well covered. And actually, that's pretty close to right. Now you can leave it unzipped. You don't need to re-zip it. So this side is going to be this portion where it says first day of school 2021. I'm going to do two different sides to the pillow. That way they can kind of flip it around, whatever they want to do. I think that'll be really fun. But what I'm going to do is trim these down a little bit. I like to trim my paper just a smidge, especially when doing something so large like this, because I do need to leave a little bit of room for heat tape. So again, I am using StarCraft paper and StarCraft ink on this. So with this pillow, I'm going to heat my StarCraft heat press to 395, and then I'm going to press for about 60 seconds. So again, I just trim this down. I'll be using Caesar heat tape to hold these down as well. Now I do have some wrinkles in here, but that's okay. They'll press out when I press this. So what I want to do is definitely not put this upside down. I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half first, just so I can get an idea of where center is. And I'm just going to lay this out the way that I want it on my pillow. And the nice thing is, it doesn't have to be anything too crazy. You can really make these designs however you want them, whatever you'd like them to say, whatever you'd like them to be. It's really up to you, your style. So I'm just going to take a little bit of tape, and I'm going to place it onto the edges of my design. I have to say, I really like this heat tape more than some of the others that I have used. I have a goldish colored one, and I find occasionally it leaves a little bit of a residue behind, so I'm not a big fan, but this has been a really, really nice tape. So I'm going to go ahead, hold this up, look at it, see if I like the way that looks. I think that looks really good. Now again, I have more pieces of butcher paper cut so that we can place a piece of butcher paper on top of this in our heat press. So I'm going to go ahead, get my heat press all set up. Then, once we've pressed this side, we can then add the kids' pictures and their names. So let's go ahead over there and get that started. I'm going to go ahead and press this in 2 sections. I think it'll just be a little bit easier. So I'm going to press the first day of school first. I do have a pressing pillow here just to kind of help make sure I have even pressure. And then I'm going to do the 2021 next. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just go ahead and lower my press. And I'm going to press this for about 60 seconds. Once it's done pressing the first side, I'm going to go ahead and lift that. And then I'm going to take this off right away. And you can see how nicely that pressed really, really nice. So we're going to go ahead and turn this, and we're going to press the 2021. Again, I'm just doing this because my heat press is a little bit too small to fit the whole thing on, and I just think this will be a little bit easier. But you can kind of do whatever makes sense for you. So we'll go ahead and press 2021 next. Now that it's done that one, we'll go ahead and lift that one as well. And I did forget to put the butcher paper on, which was bad. Try not to do that, people. I promise it's not a good plan. So that one is good and pressed. So now we'll go ahead, and I'm going to let this cool a little bit before I come back through and press the back, because I just want this to cool off. It's really, really, really hot. So we're going to let it cool, and then we'll do the other side. Just like I did on our first set, I did trim the paper down on these, and then I just laid them out. We are going to flip them over, but I laid them out so I could kind of figure out which order I want to go in, and I actually think that I want to put him on this side and her on this side. He is the older sibling, so we'll put him on that side. We'll just need to kind of move things around and figure out where you want them. There's no right or wrong way. There's no, you don't have to put these in an exact space. Now, I do still have the butcher paper on the inside. Very, very important that you leave that in. And then I'm just going to kind of figure out how I want this laid out, which I think that looks pretty good. So what we'll do is we'll get some heat tape, just like we did with the other. I'm going to go ahead and flip him over and flip her over and kind of get them lined up where I think it looks even. That looks pretty good. Now, one thing I love is because I didn't do these in a like a straight frame. These are kind of more of like a distressed. You don't have as much, it's really going to hide any flaws. So if they're not fully lined up, they're not going to be real noticeable. So that's partially why I did that. But also, I just thought they would look cool. So we'll do them in those style frames. And then we're going to put their names under their pictures. I might leave the "and" off just because her name is kind of long. And I don't know that it's going to really fit well. But I'll see, because I want these more centered under their pictures, and I just feel like the and is just going to kind of take away from that. So I think we'll leave it off. Like I said when we made this, I printed it just in case I decided I wanted to use it, but it's okay if you change your mind and you decide you don't want to use something. You can absolutely just leave it off. It's not a big deal. But I'd rather have printed it and decided I didn't want it than have to go back and use it again. And I have a folder that's full of like sublimation things that I've printed that I didn't use, because you can always use them again. So once I have everything taped down where I want it and I'm happy with it, which I think that looks pretty good, again, I'm going to have a piece of butcher paper inside. I have one for under this, and then I'm going to have one over it. So I want to make like a butcher paper sandwich, because I want to make sure that none of the ink from the other side transfers on to my heat press. So I always make sure to put some butcher paper under this as well. So I'm going to move this back over to our heat press and we'll get ready to press it. For this one, I removed my pressing pillow and I'm going to press this all in one. I just double checked that everything is on to my heat press. The bottom plate doesn't get hot, so you don't need to worry about like putting your hands on it to just double check that everything is on the plate. And then I've got my 2 pieces of butcher paper under. I have a piece of butcher paper on top, and we're gonna press this at about 395 for 60 seconds. Now I do have the pressure set to decently high pressure. It doesn't need to be insane, but you do wanna have a decent amount of pressure. So we're gonna go ahead and let this press, and then I can show you what it looks like. It's almost done, so we're going to get ready to lift up our press, and then we can pull off the sheets. I'm so excited to show you what this looks like. So we'll go ahead and pop that up. And you can see it has pressed, so I'm really excited to show you guys how this came out. So again, I pull mine off right away. We're going to just pull everything off. And the one thing I will say that I really like about the Caesar heat tape is that it comes off pretty easy. So I like to use it because it comes off so nice. I'll move this over to the page or the table so that you guys can really see what this looks like. Before I show you the pillow cover, I do want to show you why it's so important that you use the butcher paper. So this is the inside butcher paper, and you can see it's still really clean. It's wrinkled from being pressed, but nothing pressed on it, but it's really important to have that just in case something does happen to get on it. Now on this one, hopefully you guys can see the press of the words first day of school, and it does have some of the 2021 on it. This is the one that was under the pillowcase when we pressed it the second time. That's why it's really important. This is our second layer, just to make sure nothing went through from the first layer. And then this one is the pillow top that we just pressed with the pictures. So I don't know if you guys can see, but there is some ghosting here, and then there's some ghosting from the photos. The dark portions of their photos are on the butcher paper. So you can see on one side it's really bright and one side it's not. That is just a really great way to prevent getting any of this on your press. You want to make sure when you're done with these that you do throw them away, because that ink can retransfer. So you definitely want to avoid that. Now here is our pillowcase. I think it came out really cute. It's super bright and colorful. This is just a fun way that you guys could remember the first day of school for your kids. There's lots of fun things that you can really do with these. You can be super creative. Using Canva is a great option. They have lots of great elements, really fun. I will link Canva down below for you guys, as well as all products that I used on this item. So again, I used a pillowcase from 143 Vinyl, StarCraft ink for sublimation, and StarCraft sublimation paper. Everything will be linked, and make sure that you use code Corinne to save that 5% on all the products used. This is so fun, really cute. I'll give you guys a nice look at this. I hope you guys have a great day and happy crafting.